Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the wrestling and the review of the annual. I just want to give my sort of first thoughts on Smackdown from one last night. As you know, the show took place in London, so it was nice to actually so it was nice to actually tune in to the show at a more earlier time. We start off the show with obviously Drew McIntyre addressing his championship victory from still in Germany. He basically he said he's the first UK built on cha- champion etc. But he said the way here we are the fans that are chanting and that are chanting like men to for him when we hear where the fans when CM Punk rude him where we are the fans with and here we are the fans when the Romans rude him and he said I didn't do this for you. This has all been done by and he then turns his attention to Cody Rhodes. He says Rhodes can't challenge him because um he's got he had a clause in the contract during his negotiations with Nicholas. Out comes Randy Orton and Randy Orton basically he's down a challenge. He said, uh, um, he said it's cool. Yeah, me and you don't like each other, but I'm gonna win the Fatal 4-Way at Saturday night's main event and after qualified tonight and I'm gonna drop you with the three most dangerous weapons in sports entertainment are Drew before he can respond gets interrupted by Jacob Fatu. The two kind of are all out into the crowd and into the backstage area. Um, then as with um, attack on from behind with the skill crushing finale. It sets up it sets up the first tournament match. So Randy Orton versus the Miz, and I thought it was a good match. Obviously two former rivals of the retired John Cena. So I thought is a pretty good way for these two to not only kick off the tournament but kick off 2026, especially off the back of um, John Cena's retirement. Anyway, It was a decent match between the two, as obviously gets the upper hand and they'll get one. He then actually hits the Bubba at Super X onto the announce table on Orton, which is one of Orton's moves. A bit later on, Orton would do three of those to them as in retaliation for the opening of the match. A good bit of a back and forth as again and attempts a skull crushing finale. Orton catches him with the DDT and hits him with the RKO to book the first book to book the first on Saturday night's main event. Decent match here, and it's also very cool here when we look at the as his role is within the company. If you didn't know by now, it's his job to get people over, including other established talent. But then you get to the back and you see Scotty with his WWE Championship, but into heel. Yeah, dragging off and dragging off to the moon. I ask more. I in a hurry says I've got my asthma and she snuff after me to heck dragging off says Lambda had dragging and you get somebody insane that would come in after you after you Saturday night's in of and on a shot at the title so so he puts him on notice. Then you get to the second segment, which is obviously Joel here versus Joel here and Yana James versus Shawn and Asuka. No, Shawn and Alexa. But before that, you see Shawn and Alexa actually have a conversation in the back. And Alexa kind of interrogates him, Charlotte saying, what was wrong with you as to equally you actually curve you just phoning it in. Charlotte says she was uh, our ex is not very happy because she reminds Charlotte of her first major title opportunity, and Charlotte wasn't there to watch her back, and Charlotte the end points out, you've got a singles opportunity without me in a pitch. Sure, so there is kind of a bit of there is kind of a bit of friction, but the two kind of patch up. Nia Jackson obviously will Ashley Legend attempt to start the or in the basic skill is it to the basic skill is it to show you better watch your back if all the you drag them nigh she dragged na I had own into the sink Charlotte's as I don't need any on so hesitated ice from you now. I don't sure Austria and she then points to Ash and then she says to Ash since you have hung around or have changed and yeah that kind of leads into the finish of the tag match here and I have to actually say it was a good solid it was a good solid tag match obviously both teams get a good amount of offer and son you do have the whole backstage for the friendship obviously between Yana James and Charlotte Flair here but yeah it just makes it easier for the performers and opposing teams to have them match so it's understandable why this match was picked. Obviously, each just shoes are pretty much are pretty much neutral between us. Uh, you have uh, uh, you have a extra bill, so obviously catch Yana after hopes she punch James will if the sister or Abigail and hit so onto 30 um so onto three Jackson will edge into it and come out take out both teams did take out Joe here and Yana on the outside. They'd also take out our ex and Charlotte um and the and and then yeah, I would kind of it took confrontation with Joe and Yana after obviously yeah, Anna having to hold back having to hold back Joe. Yeah, so it's very cool. Yeah, so be heading to number one contenders. And number one contenders match between the two teams for the right to face for the right to face yeah or yeah and you um uh, obviously you get free to or on was of solo wa and MFT saying that they're going to um saying that they're going to keep the anthem by the side during so was at with during solos match with uh, or East. This is in response the and this was in response to I-6 talking about the significance of the anthem, about how it's a role I am through the darkness, obviously someone was listening to in with I also then in the next part of the show is obviously the Cody Rhodes battle to Drew McIntyre. I gets an interesting reception once again from obviously for them obviously the crowd they acknowledges it and says well that's about the different. I goes on to talk about how his title reign became predictable, the same catchphrase, the same feud with Drew, because the same sort of thing for his podcast etc. And he announces he announces that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, so he announces his declaration. He then goes on to talk about past Rumble and also a vote on the Rumble more than Unsees in ancient Hulk Hogan went back to back. He mentioned Shawn Michaels went back to back. He mentioned how Stone Cold Steve Austin is the only three-time Royal Rumble winner, and that's a task that faces her. He also mentions the fact that eyes the killer killed himself as a humble as stated in the promo. He can't directly challenge Drew because of the contract clause. So, yeah, um, so, yeah, but and he says, Jacob Fatu has got the biggest receipt coming of anybody that, of anybody that, of anybody that have ever stood for interfering in the match. And he in that particular ends a segment we get a promo over match America and the owner talking to Kathy L. She asks him his thoughts of the world titles attrition. He obviously Um, he obviously is able, as she's good, they could have held the belt for longer because the two of them are friends and he wanted to put himself to the test. He also says he's known Drew a long time as well, but but he also said that he wants to be Eminem wants to become WWE reach campaign and so I came back to WWE and he's up against Chiric. Oh, yeah. So the next match in the card till and as obviously Chiric Williams versus my called one and that's is a decent it's called the owner had a good amount of fans and so did Chirac you seen um Aldona had the reboot several times. It used to be called the Broski under the under the Zack Ryder but it's now called the reboot. He attempts to hit radio silence a couple of times. Once the usual style and nothing at all rope but off get count on and eventually each other gets the shot and he gets a bit a pretty decent arch and pretty decent arch here and yeah Chirac so on. It's very cool. You're really ahead after so they want character have a sort of whole back and forth with if the other competitors in the match obviously in Germany you saw the confrontation with Randy Orton. I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of the episode till either, but you see where I'm going, so it's very good that they've decided to that they've decided to go in the uh, direction. Obviously after them uh, actually get Kit else and who comes out, he gets massive or eyes because he's obviously from the London area. He attacks Cardona as Cardona basically skill lost him and his already debut back full time of the company. Kit Wilson would then a promo. He would then join doing a follow after the ad. He talks about getting did the toxic skill and the table and the wall or in the and says he's the lead or and he basically says he's disgusted with the behavior of the or you you it actually see um it actually see Jacob Fatu attack 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 him so that was funny. It's very cool. Yeah, again, what his role is, but he's funny at it. So that's something. Um, obviously, Jacob says to the odds, get your uncle ass out here, check the ass out. You want to say something to me? He will. It's Emil. It's do the so right now the the two the two with and so I have the two with and so I have I and all is with the actually say enough of enough not to I and all it are on with get confirmation later on with get confirmation for Saturday night's in event. So the next electronica art the and as obviously so also one else is the aiming or east and yeah yeah and like MFE all of MFT come out with a soul or Hackle he'll gets a jet it after or every rod so Odaka arches um archism but I but I wouldn't or is onto the top of the rope kind of given kind of given so more than for an advantage he gets kicked out he says um he says I was only checking my watch I didn't do Una often the is the MFT crying into a year and the strat race to whenever he gets a bit of offense going outcomes um outcomes the Wyatt's X you see the one it's with the only central and then around top of the ounce table they take out F E and they take out MFE so ultra ice tip so ultra ice to punch still and on the the basically been F and then are and in access over having access over having talks thing and it's the actually uncle how David then retrieved the one and on it to be taken out by on it to be taken out by I Hackle. You who the ons um so or tell a onga I keep actually all in him by using Japan in eyes it's a habit so he still will he use the anthem and use it back for so also war so again the aiming police will all eyes. He would the end challenge Trick to match on the Smackdown before Saturday night's main event, so that'll be a good match. That would happen later on in the night. So come O'Hayes defeated Asteria opponent in the US Open Challenge. That would turn out to be Leon Swift, or the X Division champion in ENA. Obviously, he's from Rad. So he gets a good reception, and was a pretty good competitive match. So he's had a couple of near falls. Obviously, come out with the and hit the cut are on so later to get those, and a very different sort of move. Usually it's a often button he hits, but he hits the cutter and it'll take away as aggressive. So later are actually really took it to come there. Oh, he's only 21 and he's the youngest X Division champion in TNA history. The X Division championship is actually the is actually the is actually the longest active title and the organization, obviously because the TNA World Heavyweight Championship didn't come into existence until 2008. They were still operating and using the NWA heavyweight championship. So the X Division championship has on our history, and it's very cool. Yeah, the obviously and Slade us on track as that the WWE are expressing interest in signing him because he's obviously had a shot in the NXT Championship. He's taken on Triple A competitors at NXT in Havoc. Him and Javon Evans were in a tag team for a bit, and Javon's even challenged them for the NXT Championship. So, and Javon Evans is somebody that WWE have high hopes or so obviously they put a lot of stock in Leon and then they see him as a potential star and he has featured Saturday night's main event John Cena's retirement show, so it's obviously very um very yeah, but they are expressing interest in Slade are obviously if they are also from a DNA it provides them all if or also for opportunities, and it does provide a sort of out in exchange. Saw the you saw the debut of our in a black informally origin, and you saw Sonia Deville, she's known as Aria. So they both kind of debut with ENA, and it just makes sense for that to eventually happen. Firstly, or anyway, anyway, now you get to Jordan or Ace, I will get to Jordan or Ace versus Um, how will we get it to Jordan Grace versus Chelsea Green? But before that, no, we get a confrontation between Nakamura and Tamatonga. Obviously, Nakamura's been tuned into the United States Championship. The United States Championship, and he wants it back. Obviously, amateur on the and says, "Well, you've got what has the you've had your run on, and now it's my, I am, now it's my match." And Nakamura then says something in Japanese, so it's so it's very obvious that we'll get a sort of number on contenders. We'll get a sort of number on contenders, sort of feud between the two, and obviously coming out will Hazel challenge and none of that. Feud obviously for the sake of progression. So I think they'll go with Tamatong because he's been featured or done that sort of role to get the US title back to MFE. So it's and he's obviously expressed his desire for that. Then you get then you get a whole sort of doppelganger and or revenge confrontation with Ethan Fraser, Johnny Gargano, and Axiom. Axiom's like, okay, Gargano, you've had a fun, give me my ask back. Obviously, him and us have have dating and so he's like gonna do couples of so single it got obviously when even for is actually he has an acting ask on he so I know and he says well you've got a match with me next week and after all that you can get after my ask but ask ask him so see you then and so that'll be a good match then you and that'll be good match That's for next to he, then you get to Jordan race versus Chelsea. Gary in Chelsea getting comes out of Alba a 5 or as usual. She's still got the triple X Tag Team Championship L on the shoulder. Or so she's still X Tag Team Champion as Chelsea Green. Or the Giddies with the then remind everybody that Triple A's new equal a show will be airing on Saturdays. So tonight you'll get the first official TNA, not the first official TV, but on class of Triple A. Obviously, obviously, as I think it's Ox, America or in America, excuse me, that's got the rights for it for Mexico, but as I will know, these aces have got you've got them American you've got them American broadcast on trivia about Eve and you've got the other international markets on YouTube. I'll probably catch up of that on day after because obviously I've got my obviously I've got my you know the Acom Arnoctum or rugby art for the cup tie against Auckland Talbot. So yeah, the Scott I am Auckland Talbot versus Celtic. So yeah, that's what I'll be catching. So that's what I'll be catching up with that on the after. And should be a good show you've got. Should be a good show you've got. I'm doing El Grande Americano and a number one contenders match for the triple a, a championship. But anyway, back to this Jordan Gary is versus Chelsea Green match. It's pretty much a box and skill Osh and is Jordan to the main in Osh are a pretty good maneuver from Jordan. I can't remember what that's called. It's kind of like a real foul a driver type thing. She gets and if after some interference by Albert higher that she gets a retribution and Albert for you get Jay Cargill with the inside she does a kind of sarcastic of and Jordan Race actually says to Jay Don, listen, you look hired to be sitting in that tight tone. I don't you come into the ring and I can take it off your hands right now. obviously age is about ready to exit and you get Chelsea or in um, attempting to attack Jordan attempting to attack Jordan, but Jordan was out the way and Chelsea hits Card. So it's very obvious that they could be going down the way of a skill Osma again between Jade Cargill and Chelsea Green to he can on Cherry on the could on the could a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Obviously, he would probably have Chelsea take the in the triple or so that it takes Jordan a bit because obviously I don't think they'll take the title of Jade straight on. I know that will annoy I know that will annoy Sean because he doesn't really think much of Jade Cargill. Um, as he knows, I kind of disagree. Um, but yeah, they won't get it won't get to the politics um of that in this video. Oh, that'll be on for it, and that'll be on on a st- um on a stream. Adam imagine. Um, but yeah, but yeah, and the main event, Isa Army is Zane picks up the and over a very um over on a very game ill drag and off the hook eyes get us it open and then obviously it's to Sami Zayn however and I think Sami Zayn's gonna win the fatal form here because I think they are trying to tell this um sort of underdog redemption story because Sami Zayn has always been the bridesmaid for the bride when it comes to the main championships and I think um that's I drew actually got the title because Sammy's never actually eaten Drew on having occasions. It's always been Drew that gets a victory. Um, so yeah, I think that'll happen, but it's attacked by Trick own, gets attacked by Trick own comes and that ends the show. As I've said before, it's very young what they're trying to do with Trick in terms of the whole fatal form. He have him um have him have conflict with everybody it kind of gives him a bit of height and stuff, and really uses his profile on the main roster to kind of get him on level, um, a higher level aside of the revered established wrestling. Also, so you can, I'll give that as a 7.5, not as um not as just long as the two previous episodes, but how enjoyable. And yeah, me know you watching the comments section on of WWE so far this year, and obviously a SmackDown episode. And I'll see you very soon. Remember to like, share and subscribe and comment, and I'll see you very soon.